Right there, folk, welcome back to another video beer review. Today we've got a beer which is a collaboration beer between Thornbridge and the Kernel, and it is their Burton Ale on the Union. It's been brewed on the Union system that they bought, the Burton Union. They bought a set, I think that's what they call it, the Burton Union set that they have. But yeah, on the Union, dark ruby red, 7.2% ABV. Now, this is different ABV to the cask version, which I have had in the past. I had the cask version at Swindon Beer Festival, Swindon Camera Beer Festival, about 2 months ago. Now, I always recommend going to Swindon Camera Beer Festival. I mean, I'm there all the time because my beers are always there, but they tend to like darker beers, and the sort of beers you won't normally kind of find in cask pubs and that sort of thing. So yeah, there is a good selection of dark beers for sure. And this year, a couple of beers from Thornbridge as well, from their Union set as well. So yeah, this one, like I say, 7.2% rather than the cask version, which is 5.5. So I think I'm going to get a more true version almost of what the beer should be. I can understand why you wouldn't release a 7.2 on cask. I absolutely get that. 5.5 is even still a bit strong for especially drinkers down here who are scared of anything that's above 3.9. But yeah, let's see what this is like. We first brewed our Burton Ale, so of course it is a second brew of the Burton Ale style. I can't remember when the other one was, but it will probably say this on the back of the bottle. We first brewed our Burton Ale with the Kernel Brewery back in the summer of 2011. Inspired by historical brewing recipes from the early 20th century, this iteration fermented on our Union system is malty, rich and dark with a gentle balancing bitterness from Goldings hops. Roasted malts and special brewing sugars make our Burton Ale the perfect winter warmer. Now, I got this in the December box from Thornbridge. Mersey Beers might find one of these in his box as well. I'm sure he has opened it by now. This bottle contains fresh live beer, bottle conditioned, so yeah, let's keep it upright. And yeah, I mean, I've had this on the side. I haven't put it in the fridge at all. 7.2%, like I say. Best before 19th of November 2025, so we've got a year on it. It's going to be beautiful. At least I hope it's going to be beautiful. So, yeah, the Union sets, the Union system. I've never fully actually understood how the Union system, the Union sets that they have, worked. I'd like to learn about it more, intrinsically, to actually understand how it works. But it is basically a separate kind of a unique brewing system. There was basically Marston's had all the Burton Union sets, and since Carlsberg took over Marston's, well, they formed a merger and basically have completely destroyed anything that Marston's had, and have destroyed the brewing heritage of Burton. I mean, it was on a downward trajectory anyway, but it's just been completely destroyed. It's really sad. It's really sad. But thankfully, we've got these breweries like Thornbridge. I know Apocal as well in the UK have bought a Union set. I don't know who else has Union sets, but they've been split up and distributed around the world. Firestone Walker, I know, had one anyway, and I think they've expanded theirs. But it's a real shame to lose that kind of brewing heritage and tradition from the city or the town. In fact, it's not a city at all. That is, well known for brewing. Just Carlsberg are shit, just awful for doing that, and even to their own beer as well. Like, I think it's a disgrace that nowadays, standard Carlsberg is 3.4%. They've dropped it and dropped it and dropped it. I remember, it being well over 4%. When I was at uni, I think it was like about 4.1, and it dropped to like 3.7. And then they dropped it again to 3.4, and it's kind of flown under the radar sort of thing. But you don't get Carlsberg anywhere so they fucking deserve it, you know. You're not going to win any prizes by dropping the ABV of your beer constantly and not telling your customers. You know, even shifting onto the Carlsberg Pilsner that they did. Carlsberg Pilsner tastes actually really nice. The fucking ABV it was. But dropping that down to 3.4, it's really poor. That's a sign of a dying brand, really, isn't it? Obviously Carlsberg is huge, but a dying UK brand at least. You don't see Carlsberg around very many places at all nowadays. Anyway, less about Marston's, more about Thornbridge and Kernel. So Ramsbury glass. I don't personally like straight glasses like this, but my other two are playing silly buggers at the minute. So silly buggers by the fact I can't get them clean. So anyhow, nice and clear of hop. There's not much light in it because I turned everything off, but it is nice and clear. Half a finger, fluffy kind of tan, sort of creamy tan head. I'm hoping for something kind of like Old Roger sort of thing, because that's a beer that got killed, and that's another story. But yeah, toffee, burnt caramel, a bit of a smokiness, quite bready. We'll dive in. Cheers. Carbonation is definitely a touch high. Probably a lot of it down to the bottle condition, the fact that I've had it on the side rather than put it in the fridge. This is the sort of beer that you'd want to have at room temp anyway, rather than cold. But it's bloody delicious. The flavours it has. Carbonation can do one, but the flavours you get behind it. It's sweet, bready, caramel, slightly roasty, bit of a chocolatey. Yeah, it's proper beer. That's just proper beer. That's simply put, that's proper beer. That's a sort of beer that I love. Full-bodied, really hearty, nice and strong. Definitely not the sort of beer you want to be doing 5 and drive to, but people probably would have done back in the day. The reason why I say that is because I think this beer would just be brilliant down the British line over in Devizes. I think it'd be absolutely fantastic. Yeah, dark chocolate, caramel, lovely kind of fruitiness to it. A bit of a coffee hit, but not too big. Yeah, really malty and fruity, bloody beautiful toffee caramel sort of notes. That's delicious. I know it's not really going to happen, but if they could do this 7.2% version on cask, then it'd be wonderful. But yeah, that's just another level to the cask version. I think the cask version was very easy going, and I think it was. I seem to remember the cask version being a little bit lighter than this was as well. The use of brewing sugars is something I really want to go into over the next couple of years at work. But we struggle to sell stronger beers because we're just cask. If we were to do it in a bottle or something like that, I'd love to do like an imperial stout version of my standard stout, because I think our standard stout is fantastic. But even if I do say so myself, I would never really blow my own trumpet. I'm not interested in doing that, but I think our standard milk stout is fantastic. It's one of the best beers for me out there. Yeah, if I was able to use brewing sugars and do some, proper complex malty malt bombs, I'd love to do it. And I do envy the folk at Thornbridge, because they are brewing some fantastic beers at the minute, and a real broad range of different styles as well. Absolutely fantastic. Thornbridge and the Kernel, Burton Ale, on the Union. Big old 7.2% version. Fantastic. See you next one. Cheers.